So you might be trying to compare the Nintendo Switch Lite and the Nintendo Switch OLED, and you might be trying to figure out which one is a better one for you. Now, the thing I can definitely tell you about both these particular Nintendo Switches is that either way, you'll still be able to play your Nintendo Switch games, you'll be able to do all those things, but the very big thing to keep in mind is that the Switch Lite is supposed to be a cheaper alternative to the Nintendo Switch OLED model. So that right there is going to be one of the biggest things to keep in mind here, because if you're trying to go through and you're actually trying to get the best Nintendo Switch, the Switch Lite really is not going to be the one for you. The Switch OLED is going to be a better type of console here. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, if we're not worried about that, some of the big things, number one, the Nintendo Switch Lite is a much smaller and more compact type of console. It gives you all the controls, the Joy-Cons are built right inside, and it gives you a 5.5-inch LCD display. Now, here's the thing. Right now, the Switch Lite has gone down in value quite a bit. You can still buy them brand new, I think, but you can buy them all over the place in the used market. They're much cheaper than a Switch OLED, but they're designed for portable play. There's no way to dock it up to a screen or a TV or a monitor. There's no way to go ahead and, output it to some sort of display. You can only have it in its, standard mode. And because of its LCD display, it's really not that great either. If you're in direct sunlight, if you're on the go a lot and like direct sunlight in a car or something, this console is going to be having some pitfalls there. But it's giving you decent battery life. It's giving you the capability of playing all Nintendo Switch games, which is awesome. And if you don't mind the display and not being able to dock it up, I think this thing is actually a really good deal. And I think it's a really good option there. Now, the Switch OLED is a much better type of console. Even though we have the Nintendo Switch 2, I think there are still some advantages for a Switch OLED. Number one, the display itself is very good. 7 inches OLED display, much better than the LCD panel on the Switch or the Switch Lite. You have the capability of docking it up to a TV or monitor as well. So that right there is a very big advantage. If you plan on playing your games a lot at home or something, you're going to be able to go ahead and use this type of console, which makes it that much better in my personal opinion. You also have your detachable controllers. So these Joy-Cons completely, detach from the console. And that right there is also another big advantage here because it does kind of go through and give you multiplayer support a little bit easier since you have an extra controller at hand. And also, if anything goes wrong with your Joy-Cons, you have a higher chance of replacing it easier on a Switch OLED than on the Switch Lite. I will say the battery life on the Switch OLED is way better as well. Like you're getting really good battery life inside of the Switch OLED, which is something that I love. In fact, my Switch OLED was giving me better battery life than my Switch Lite, my original Switch, and my Nintendo Switch 2, which is actually pretty crazy. I was getting really good battery life from there. It is more expensive, but I do think if you have more money, if you have the capability of affording it, the Nintendo Switch OLED is the one that makes a lot more sense for me to go ahead and recommend to people. But if you're wanting to save a little bit more, then I guess the Switch Lite is okay. But I would definitely recommend going up and buying something like a Switch OLED. It's way better. If you buy it in the used market, it'll be a little bit cheaper. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.